One, go. All right, I'm here with Bruce Shillingsworth, old man Bruce Shillingsworth. No disrespect to old man, but that's his son, Bruce Buddy Shillingsworth. And Bruce is going to tell a yarn about his late mother, what she used to do for love. These stories, I blew my head off my shoulders, this story. Go on.
Yeah, look, Mum passed away a couple of years ago. She passed away about a couple of weeks before her 101 birthday.
Wow.
So Mum lived on the land. She lived on the rivers. And her mother, my grandmother, she lived till 104. So those old people lived till old age. Now let me explain this to you. I'll tell you a story about the marriage story, the traditional marriage. In the old days, you weren't allowed to marry within your nation, right? Within your tribe. You had to marry someone outside because you would be mixing the blood.
Sure.
And they had control of the genetics, our old people. They knew not to, who to partner up with because of the genetics, so we can live longer. So this story is a painting I done a couple of years ago about Mum. That's Mum up there. We call her Yangana. Her average name is Yangana. That's it, Yangana. This is the painting I done of the river. This is the river. Over here, there's another river as well. There's two rivers. The one river where Mum lived on, which is her nation, is the Paroo. The Paroo is the last free-flowing river in Australia. It's a protected river. The other river is where my father's from, which is Colgo, and that's to the east. Back in the old days, traditionally you had to marry east, right? I married my wife, she east of me. So back in the old days, that was tradition. In Sydney, you can't go any further east. So what did the people do here in the coast? They married south. So a lot of the mob we had La Perouse married the Yuan nation down south. That's how you get them all out of La Perouse. But here, if you look at Mum's footprint, Mum walked the distance from here to Canberra, over 400 kilometres. And my mother walked that distance 4 times a year. Now, would your wife walk that far?
Nah.
Would you walk that far?
Yes, she would.
No, I would go to the grandstand.
But that was law, that was tradition. So, the women had to walk, not the men. The women had to walk, right? So she walked the distance from here to Canberra 4 times a year to marry my dad. My dad was named Ogun Shillingsworth, and his father was named Gujuba from the Murrawari nation. They were known as the rainmakers, the good rainmakers. So we got good blood, good stock. We're rainmakers. So here you see our footprint. These are the little water holes or the hot springs. Out there in the desert you get the hot springs that water comes up from under the ground. Mum knew where all those hot springs were. She knew on her track where she walked. She knew where to find the water. She also knew how to find bush tucker. But she knew how to stop over at the lakes. She could duck eggs, she could catch fish, she could catch crayfish, mussels, all those sorts of things. So she knew how to survive. She didn't care whether she got lost. She knew how to survive. And this is her up here. My mother and her 2 sisters, which married my father and the 2 brothers. So the 3 sisters married the 3 brothers.
How long would a trip for 400 kilometres take?
Well, that's at least a couple of weeks.
Couple of weeks?
A couple of weeks, yeah. Or a month.
And she has to have a chat to
And a month. At least a month.
And she go by herself?
Well, no, I said the 3 sisters would go.
All right.
Because the 3 sisters married the 3 brothers.
3 women. 3 women by
The 3
themselves.
women married the 3 men. But they know how to look after us. They're very staunch women. See? And they knew how to fight.
Is this on bare feet?
Yes.
Wow.
They didn't have had shoes back then. They didn't have shoes. Mum walked the land. Okay? And that's the rivers. There's the bush tucker, the water holes, the lake where she stop over and camp. So she knew all that country. And that's how she survived for a long time.
Who would walk 400 kilometres for the love of their life? I don't think you find
You would. Come on, Arthur. That's the test.
That's the story. It's about love. If you love someone, you do it, would you?
Yeah, probably.
There you go. But back in the old days, they had to do it. They had no choice.
Yeah.
You know,
But they loved it. But they lived long as well from walking,
Of course.
good exercise,
Yeah,
all the
totally.
bush tucker, good food.
Totally.
So that's why they lived longer. My wife, her grandmother lived till 114. So, there you go.
Beautiful story. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you.